Hey folks, Todd at Freedom Fighter Tactical. It is time for another status of business and inventory update. Let's get started right now. Hey folks, Todd at Freedom Fighter Tactical. Welcome to the channel and welcome back to another edition of the status of business and inventory update. So happy to see you guys here today. Thank you for tuning in. Of course, hit the subscribe button down below, hit the bell so you're notified of future videos. I do videos quite often. And I greatly appreciate everybody in the audience. You guys like to let me know what you're thinking and questions and thoughts and ideas. Feel free to leave a comment down below. I tend to respond to everybody. What's going on here at Freedom Fighter Tactical? Well, I tried something last weekend. I tried free shipping on all orders over $150, and that was a huge hit, you guys. Really enjoyed that. I got cleaned out of a lot of stuff. Magazine tubes, oversized bolt release buttons. I mean, you guys really went to town. I'm playing around with my shipping after years and years of pretty much doing one kind of shipping, which is United States Postal Service priority with a signature on every box. I'm still gonna do it that way, but I'm trying to bring some of the shipping down because the way my shipping used to work, the basic cheapest package would be $16.50, and that's what it costs to do priority with a signature. It's gonna cost $16.50. So, you know, we're not really making anything above and beyond that $16.50, but sometimes there were parts that we would sell that were cheaper than $16.50 that would go into into an envelope with a signature that costs more than the part itself. So we're playing around with it. And then the most expensive shipping that we had was $34.50. So no matter what you ordered, no matter how big it got, if it was the size of a refrigerator, it would ship for $34.50. And it would go United States Postal Service priority with a signature on every box. So I'm gonna do it a little bit different for a while, and I'm gonna be toying with it actually. So, you know, if you're thinking or you see that today it's a certain way, it might be different tomorrow because I'm trying to dial in what I think is gonna work. But what I have to do is do something that works for me. I have a lot of orders to pack and ship each and every day, and it has to be done in a fashion that's uniform so that I can do it by myself and get everything out. If I offer, you know, DHL and UPS and USPS and every imaginable thing that works for each individual person out there, then it slows me down and I'm not productive. If I've got to, if I have 30 packages to ship in the morning and I do it all the same way, I can knock it out pretty quick. But if out of those 30 packages, I have 7 different ways I need to ship it. I've got an economy guy, I've got an overnight guy, I can't do it that way. Everything has got to be pretty uniform. So I'm working on that and trying to give you all some options, but I'm also trying to dial in some incentives for free shipping. And what I didn't like about the $150 free shipping is a lot of my parts are $150. So it's, you just buy the one thing and it ships for free. I'd rather make it to where you get a couple things. Usually, like on Amazon, they offer free shipping on a lot of things, but on some things, you have to reach a certain threshold in order to get free shipping. And that's very common in, if you buy clothing, if you want to buy a shirt at Ralph Lauren or at, LL Bean or wherever you like to buy your shirts. Usually the shirt is priced at $99, but for $100 you get free shipping. So it encourages you to get a second item. And so, I'm playing with things to see, how I can encourage people to get things that they want and things that they need, but kind of add to the order just a little bit so you get the free shipping. So on every page on the website, I used to have my terms and conditions for the most commonly answered questions. But the problem with that is I have 700, 800 parts. So anytime one policy changes ever so slightly, I have to update the web page on 700 pages. So instead, I have a fairly uniform click box of terms like, click here if you want to see how we ship, click here to see how to earn free shipping. And when you click, you go to a page and then I can just update that one page. If anything changes and I don't have to update 700 pages, I just have to update the one page. So check out that page. During COVID, we had to end returns COVID was very tricky with returns because people would load up their carts and buy everything imaginable, and then they would want to return things when they realized that, wait, I need $2,000 for my, for this instead of $2,000 for gun parts, and they'd want to return a bunch of stuff. And so during COVID, because of the panic buying and everybody filling up carts, I didn't really want to be in the business of taking parts back. Because I need to be able to consider a sale closed at some point, and I need to know that when things go out the door, I'm not going to be expected to take 10 or 20 orders a month that are all worth $1,000. I mean, that adds up. And when you're trying to plan your money and everything and your purchases and grow your business, it really hurts when you've got people panic buying, like during COVID. That also happened way back in the Sandy Hook years. When Sandy Hook happened and the legislators were beating the gun law drum, all of a sudden everybody was panic buying, and you have a lot of people that are like, they rethink their orders 2-3 weeks later when the credit card bill comes in, and then they want to return it, and I've already forgotten that the order even happened. It shipped 3 weeks ago, and now people are wanting full refund. So I couldn't do that during COVID. I am bringing back the return policy, but it's limited to 14 days. You can read about it. It's on the website, but I am bringing that back to make it a little bit easier for people if they make mistakes in purchases or whatever, to request a refund. And then parts that I don't want to refund once they've been used. Because these aren't shoes. You can't go to your local Dick's store, put them on, walk around the store, take them off and not buy them. You can't do that with gun parts. When you do that with gun parts, you screw up coatings. If you're dealing with the clones and they're hard to fit, you muck up threading, you do all sorts of things. So, I have to deal with that. So I'm, enclosing these items with security seals. So, you can check it out. You can look at the coating, you can feel it, you can hold it in your hand, weigh it, whatever, if it's charging in or whatever. But as soon as it leaves the bag, the return is over. Just like popping tags at a Nordstrom. Well, Nordstrom takes everything back, but if you buy something in a clothing store and you pop tags and you try it out, like you wear it to a dinner and then you decide, I don't really want it. Most stores are going to say, no, you've already worn it, it's now used. And so I'm doing the same thing to allow for returns. But clones have been tricky. Clones were really one of the things, aside from COVID, were really one of the things that toyed with my ability to take returns, because so many things don't fit on clones and you screw them up trying to fit them on clones. And I don't sell things for clones. Clones aren't part of my business model. Original Benelli shotguns, original Beretta shotguns are my business model, because 100% of the time when I sell you a magazine tube, it's gonna work. I mean, it's very, very rare. I mean, we're 1/10 of 1% of the time something's not gonna work. Threading with some threading on a mag tube with a Benelli M4. It's very rare. It usually happens with the end cap instead of the receiver, but it's very, very rare. With clones, it's very, very common. So clones aren't part of my business model, and I don't want to deal with the headaches that clones bring into it when it comes to returns. I'll let other manufacturers do that. I just don't want to do it. This is my way of addressing that and trying to find a way that works for everybody. Not easy thing to do. Anyway, check out what's going on the website. Also, I'm thinking about taking orders on the phone again. During COVID, I couldn't take orders on the telephone. My phone was ringing off the hook. I'd be on the phone all day long. I'm toying with the idea of taking orders on the phone. The problem is I'm not always in front of a computer. I don't have anybody dedicated to do that all day long. So probably people who want to do orders on the phone, I'll have to call them back when I'm in front of a computer so that we can have the time necessary to do an order on the phone. But I haven't done orders on the phone in probably over 5 years now, since COVID started and the phone started ringing like mad. So I'm putting the phone number back on the videos. I took it off for a long time because people see that as an opportunity to make an order, and I wasn't doing orders on the telephone, but now the phone number is back. So feel free to call or text me. Of course, I prefer texting over anything because it's just so easy to do. But you can call me, you can text me with a little chat blurb on the website, and you can email me through the contact page on the website. So I'm very easy to get, 365 days a year. I'm always around. I ship daily. If you see it in stock on the website and can put it in your cart, it's in stock. except for very rare occasion where I might have had a miscount. But it would have been an innocent miscount, not a deliberate miscount. I don't play the game that a lot of retailers play where they show parts on the website and then it's back ordered and you don't know it. There was a point in time when I actually allowed back orders at Freedom Fighter Tactical, but I put it at the top of every description that this item is in back order status and that if you include it in your order won't ship until this part comes in. I hated that. No one reads it. And so no one's notified, and then they call all upset that their order hasn't shipped and I have to explain it. And so I just ended forever the ability to do pre-orders. It's just not worth the headache involved. And but what I didn't do is I did not have the blurb on the web page that told you this was a sold out item and in back order, but that you can order it now and it'll ship with your parts, when the part comes back in. I didn't hide it from you. A lot of companies, they do that. They don't really let you know that something's out of stock, and then you find out after you've placed your order that it's out of stock and after you've already waited 2 weeks. I don't do that. If I've made a mistake and miscounted and something's out of stock, I'm going to know about it within 24 hours, and you're going to get a full refund within that 24 hours with a notification that this was out of stock. Once I discover it that it's out of stock, I don't even contact you to see if you want to hold your order in place until it's back in stock, because I don't want to have orders unfulfilled sitting in my inventory or in my shipping queue. I want everything that comes in each day to go out, and I don't want something lingering there for me to think about. So now that all the kind of the bookkeeping, administrative type stuff is out of the way, let's talk about what's in stock or what's out of stock or what's going to be out of stock. Magazine tubes, folks, you guys are hitting me so hard on mag tubes. It's just one right after the other. I am sold out of steel 2-round mag tubes, but I'm probably going to be picking those up this week. They're at Coating. I don't have a lot of them, but I do have them coming in steel black. Titanium are getting very, very low in the 2-round extensions. The 2-round H2O also are getting low, oddly enough. The 7-round mag tube, steel black, steel NP3 coated for the titanium Cerakote shotguns, and the titanium tubes, they are all getting low. I've got the next batch all in the works, but none of these get worked up overnight, particularly the titanium. The titanium cross the country for coating. Those things take forever and a day to manufacture and get finished. So when we have them in stock, you want to pick them up because they are absolutely glorious and they're one of the best upgrades for your shotgun. Oversized bolt release buttons, always having trouble getting restocked on the parts necessary to get those finished and ready for you guys. So we've got them right now. Get them while we've got them. They're a hot item. Trigger components, black and NP3 trigger kits. They're one of our best-selling parts for 15 years now, or 16 years. I think we introduced them 16 years ago. They are the finest out there. I know there's some speculation on, what's in our hammer, how we do our hammers. We have S7 heat treated in our hammers. Okay, we always have since day one. People like to, talk on the internet about how they don't, what do they use, and they don't use S7 because somebody else uses S7, and we use S7. We were the first to use S7. We've always used S7 in our hammers ever since day one. They are the best trigger kits out there. We have got them on tens of thousands of guns over the last 16 years. Recoil tubes getting low, particularly on the 6-round or the 6 position recoil tubes. Very hot item. Everybody wants one. We've also got the 1-position recoil tubes getting low on those. Those have been a slow mover because there's only so many people in blue states who want a fully collapsed shotgun, but we do have them if you're in a blue state like California where you cannot have a functioning adjustable collapsible stock, but you want it in the closed-in position. The 1-position tube is the answer to that. Flashlight mounts getting low. You guys have really hit me hard on those over the last few weeks. Collapsible stocks. I am about out of collapsible stocks. I do not know when I'm going to have a restock of those. We've got some new things in 2024, 2025. We've got the shorty follower for Berettas, which allow for the 7th shell to go in your gun. Some people have problems with the standard Beretta followers. Now, complete transparency, of course, on the followers. I think Beretta at some point started putting a shorter version of the follower in their shotgun sometime over the last 6 or 8 months. So you want to check your shotgun and make sure that if you're buying my shorty follower for the purposes of it being shorter than the one in your gun, that you truly have a longer follower. For a while, for a number of years, Beretta was putting a full-sized, what I call a full-size, I don't have the measurements in front of me, but they were putting in a follower that they felt was fine for 7 shells. And technically, if the shells are manufactured properly and they're not too long, that follower would be just fine. However, it doesn't give any grace to the fact that shells come off the assembly line from the ammo manufacturers at different lengths. They measure it before the crimp and after the crimp, depending on, if it's even just a few thousandths off, by the time you stack 6 shells in there, the 7th shell won't go all the way in. It happens with Benelli as well. So Berettas address that, and I believe in the newer models of 1301s, they're putting a shorter version of the follower in there. So before you spend the money on mine, make sure you need one. I love selling parts all day long, but I like to sell them for the right reasons, and I like to solve problems with my parts. I don't want you buying something that you don't need. So check that out. And I have the shorty follower. I think I have it in green and black and red and maybe a clear. I can't remember if I did clear. The NP3, well, the followers for the Benelli, the followers that are the 70054V, the vintage with the little plastic insert, are absolutely glorious. I have them in a charcoal anodized and I have them in NP3. The NP3 are slippery. They're like really slick. They are going to glide up and down your magazine tube very, very nicely. I've got the QD sling attachment for the M-Lock handguard. So if you've got a Strike Industry or you've got a Mesa Truckee or you've got one of the others, I think Midwest has one. A lot of people have M-Lock handguards. We have a QD for you there. We also have the QD1 and QD2 for the skeletonized stock in black and MP3, and they're glorious. That's about it. I mean, things are just really busy at Freedom Fighter Tactical. I ship every day, unless I'm traveling or sick. I don't intend to be sick, and I have to be pretty darn sick to not do my pack and ships each day. I like to stay on top of it. Traveling is very, very rare. I don't even envision going anywhere unless I'm traveling for my son's baseball program. I don't envision traveling anywhere until Thanksgiving. That's very rarely an issue. But I ship up until the minute I'm getting on the plane, and I ship the minute I get off the plane if I'm traveling anywhere. So if you do see a delay in your shipping at any point in time, have no fear. Shipping is near. It always is. So first, I'm losing my voice. I was going to do a couple videos today, but I don't think so. First responders out there, we greatly appreciate you all. Those people out there in the field, fire and medical, and police, law enforcement. I love you guys. I live here in Orange County, and we have quite good programs when it comes to health and safety and fire and law enforcement here. I want you all to come home each and every day. It's very important to me. I think about it every time I see the lights flashing and you guys rushing off somewhere. And you guys who aren't in law enforcement but are first responders, be careful out there. Like I always say, and you know it, but a lot of us don't think about it on a regular basis, but you guys oftentimes show up at things and you don't even know what the hell is going on. And there could be a real problem that has you in jeopardy, your safety in jeopardy when you show up. So, I know I don't have to tell you guys to be mindful of that and to be careful out there, but I'm going to do it anyway because I care. I like you all to know that I'm thinking about you. And then all of you out there who are in our federal, in a federal capacity, law enforcement, military, health and safety, greatly appreciate you guys as well. And when I say guys, I mean you guys, women and men and women that serve. I just say you guys, but you know what I mean. I appreciate each and every one of you, the sacrifices that you all make in your safety, in your well-being, and the sacrifices that your family makes, knowing that you're out there and can come home hurt or deceased or something each and every day. Your family lives with it too. They worry each and every day. And you know, we all should be worried that, you know, each day could be our last or the last of our loved ones. So you just never know when it's going to happen for any of us. But I'm particularly grateful to all those people out there, federal and state and local, in you know, who work in a program that puts them in additional odd situations, particularly hazardous or dangerous situations. So thank you to you all. Folks, you know where to find me. Phone number on the video, phone number on the website. I'm always around, happy to help in any way I can. I think right now, free shipping is over $300. Get your orders in, load up, and after $300, you're shipping for free. It happens automatically through the website. That's where we're at today. Keep in mind that if you watch this video 3 days from now, our policy may have changed. So, but right now it's free shipping over $300. So anything you can put in that box is going to ship for free if it's over $300. All right, take care, be safe. I'll talk to you in a future video.